Can I have some house lights, please? I miss you guys so much. We'll get through this together. Okay, so by show of hands, who here tonight has experienced a coincidence? Okay, you can lower the lights. Judges, fellow Toastmasters. What if I told you that there is no such thing as a coincidence, and that everything that happens in the world, and more importantly, your life, is by design, deliberate, and on purpose? It's April 2010, and I'm double parked in an obscure parking lot, some warehouse on the edge of Miami. I'm getting ready for an interview, and I remember thinking to myself, somebody somewhere must have pissed God off because the sun is way too hot and I'm way too dark for this. As 9:30 approached, I got out of my car, quickly hurried to the entrance of the double bay warehouse, knocked on the faded green door, and awaited an answer. A young, short, stocky gentleman answered the door and introduced himself as Moish. First thing I noticed was his beard. Thing was half his size. It's huge. He invited me in, led me down a short hallway into a back room, which felt like it had dreams of being an office, but somehow ended up as the meeting place for all the local criminals. Very thing I'm trying to get away from. He had a seat and invited me to do the same. Whole time I'm thinking, this is shady. And that's a big ass beard. Of course, I was just being paranoid. And that interview would lead to me being hired for the company that brought us all here tonight, Jeg & Sons. Fast forward 6 years, and Jeg has grown from a dusty, double bay warehouse into the company it is today. In those 6 years, I've also grown. I've gone from customer service agent to an account manager, got married, had a beautiful, big-ass son named Sincere. But things were changing. There were cracks in the cement. The petals on my blooming career were starting to wither and fall. I had trouble adjusting to the change. I started to ask myself why a lot more. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why is it only Tuesday? Why didn't Pat Riley just give Dwayne Wade the money? It's October 7th, and it's business as usual for me. The day starts with more questions than answers. I push through, get my tasks done. Just before noon, I get summoned to my boss's office. Closes the door behind me, and I hear those dreadful two words, have a seat. 3. I'm just making sure you guys are on pace. The tension in the room was so thick that you can cut it with a butter knife. Before any words were exchanged, we knew what was happening. 6 years from that faded green door, that double bay warehouse. 6 years from a local Miami boy bouncing from job to job. 6 years from a wild, reckless, hard-headed son of a gun. 6 years. And today was the day I was going to be fired. Now, on the outside, I was my calm, cool, collective self, as usual. On the inside, I was suffocating with uncertainty. My safety net was just ripped from under me. I got a wife, I got a son. What am I going to do? Resentment, anger, frustration, denial, all emotions that I was wrestling with. 6 years. But life has a funny way of teaching you lessons, right? And a few weeks prior, Ellie Nash, president of our company, invited me to a dinner. And at this dinner, I met a young man named Scott. Scott was the director of a nonprofit in Miami that helped at-risk youth with after-school programs, mentorships, and so on. He invited us to come by and see the site. Ellie had me tag along. When we got there, it was a life-changing experience. One that I wasn't necessarily ready for. One kid came up to us and his shoes were literally falling apart. I know what this felt like, so I immediately connected. Ellie, being the great guy he is, went out, we bought at least 30 pairs of shoes. Came back, gave it to the kids. See, what I didn't realize at the time, that I was searching for purpose in my life. And that October 7th was in no way, shape, or form a coincidence. It was by design. Me going with Ellie to meet those kids, no coincidence. It's deliberate. So I packed my stuff. I quietly get out of there. Didn't want to cause a scene. The drive home made me realize that it's not so much in your actions, but more so in your reactions. Because none of us can predict life. But it's how we react to it that really matters. Now, being that I'm not a member of the JEC team anymore, technically I'm not supposed to be here. But I told Ellie I gotta be here. Because I think I got a message. Coincidentally, Rosh Lowe was helping me with speaking. not coincidentally. What I'm trying to do is just show you guys a few examples, vague, very simple examples of how nothing in life is coincidental. Think about it. Do you think your birth, your existence, you being here was some random act of coincidence? No. Each and every one of us deserves to be here. As sure as the trees and the stars, we're part of this universe. And even though you may not know it or recognize it, the world is unfolding exactly how it should. So tonight, I ask you, I plead with you, find your purpose and enjoy the journey. Thank you.